Yeah.
So, all right, we're recording more. Live custom streaming. Nope, I've already got that. So I'm just going to keep talking. I just said go live. So we might be
Hey,
live as, the
everyone.
mystery as to whether or not or when you actually, this page isn't available right now. That's not a good
Oh, that's not good.
sign. No. So let's reload that
What page?
now. Yeah, there's a producer page that you get.
Oh, okay. Well,
Uh,
we don't need a producer.
Well, we need this page though, because that's the button that has the second go live that I think really makes
Oh,
things happen.
oh, okay.
All right, there we go. I just hit the regular go live. Is that
Oh,
us? Yeah,
let
that's
me
us.
get off of there.
We may be live. We may be. I don't know. We're just gonna go ahead and
Oh,
talk.
there it is. We are
Hey,
live.
excellent. Hey, welcome back to Wednesday night at the Shabine with Evan and Aaron. I'm Aaron. This is my buddy Evan. We don't have a big agenda tonight. There's enough craziness going on in the world. So, Evan, you want to kick off? You got any thoughts about today and the
Yeah, man. I
wonderful
mean, we
things
may
that
not,
we've learned?
we may not, totally be on here that long, or we may be on here for 4 hours. Who knows? But anyway, oh man. First of all, I just want to say this. I want to say to everybody who COVID has, cost them their jobs and their livelihood and everything like that, man. Obviously our sympathy goes out to you. The fact that you've had to survive this long, um, and to find something to get you by, hopefully you have, is a feat within itself.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
I'm just going to cut to the point. I think the thing that I want to lead off with, Aaron, is the fact that I believe in discussing some things with several people today. I believe that our educators, our teachers are seen as expendable. I think that our children are seen as expendable. Don't get me started on the fact that a lot of universities have put in this, this mandate saying that, hey, you know what, students, you need to not party and you need to do, and they're talking to, 18 and 19 and 20-year-olds who haven't seen their friends and who want to see their friends, and they're asking them to conduct themselves in ways that, if you remember back when you were 19 and 20 years old, my friend, it's getting harder for me to do so. But I remember back to that, and I'm like, I, it's almost like they are setting us up, a group of the forefront, the spearhead of this fight against COVID. And the problem is that the spearhead is chipping. We see schools closing. We see, people saying, "Oh, we shouldn't have opened this soon," and now we're having to move everything back. And it just got to me today, man.
Yeah.
It got to me today, and to have people out there who are still um, not concerned about this virus, who are not seeing the connections politically to this virus that this White House has, and not being able to see for who this president really is beyond me. I don't know. There may be people who, support Trump, who maybe turn on the broadcast every once in a while. That's fine. It's great. You know what? Wonderful. If you can have civil discourse with us, great, wonderful. But I am at my wit's end with this, my friend. I literally am. I'm at a loss. I'm at a loss to explain how or why anyone would continue to back this person. I understood back in 2016 a little bit. I understood the whole, well, he's not part of the establishment. He's there to kind of upset the apple cart. Okay, all right, fine. But what we've seen from this president is nothing less short than treason every time he would turn around. Um, we have verified facts now. This is not false news. We have verified facts of his failings and the people that he put around him, including Betsy DeVos, who, once again, I can't even speak of her name and not want and wish for her to burst into flames. I don't know, Aaron. I am literally dumbfounded tonight. The conversations that I've had with people that, that I sincerely like respect and care for, and hear them say the things that they say. Um, I just don't understand, man. I don't understand. That's my opening dialogue for tonight. I guess you could title it "I Ain't Know." I ain't know. I ain't know.
Yeah, it it to me it lays bare where you know the majority on either side, what their values and what their priorities are, and very clearly, it's about money at the end of the day. The we didn't really need another round of Bob Woodward to tell us that this president was informed and knew it was a far uh, more urgent and dangerous issue than he was letting on. It shouldn't surprise anybody, really. If you're one of his supporters and you hear this and the cognitive dissonance is taking hold, I mean, if when someone tells you exactly who they are to your face and you refuse to believe it, and then they continue to show that to you, demonstrate time after time that's who they are, then I don't really have any sympathy for you. But
Mm-hmm.
when you continue to support it, it tells me that for whatever reason you're okay with it. And the big disconnect for me is the number of people who are the poor, downtrodden, rural American, flag waving, chest beating patriots that time and time again this guy kicks dirt in their face. He wouldn't let them stay at his hotel. um, he wouldn't associate with them. He does not care about them. They revere the military, and he's made it clear he thinks people that join the military are losers and suckers, especially if they get wounded or killed or
Yep.
captured. He doesn't understand. And at the end of the day, the only thing that I think holds it together for me is it's the at this point overt racism and the belief that one day um, that money might trickle down to them.
Yeah. Man. I mean, everything you said is right. Everything you said is absolutely right. I just it, that last phrase you said, the words of Martin Luther King just came to mind in my head. And the fact he said, there's always been that word wait. It has rang in the ears of the Negroes since the beginning of this country. We always get that word wait. Um, it'll come. It'll be here.
Mm-hmm.
It'll happen. And I think that feeling, I can't remember if we talked about this a couple of weeks ago or not, man, but that feeling that I had in the pit of my stomach about how the country will allow, the discussion about race, the discussion about, what is wrong with our country, how we will eventually, that will wane. I feel it. I feel it. I really do. And I hope that I'm wrong. I desperately hope that I'm wrong. Um, not necessarily from, the people that I hang out with, like you, not in that perspective, but I feel that we are starting to shift away, um, since the election is drawing closer and drawing near, we're starting to shift away from actually discussing things. And granted, I mean, there was a, you know, you can only, there's some people you can only discuss things with so far. But I feel like there's been a shift now that we've kicked it into high gear. We're less than, what, 60 days away now?
Mhm.
Well, I mean, it may be less than that. I don't know. But um, people are circling the wagons. Um, you know, it's going to get harder for us to have a conversation or continue the conversations that we have had. It's going to be harder for us to do that. And I think, and I don't know, man, I want you to chew on this and just kind of give me your opinion on it. I've been thinking, and I was like, you know, does it all boil down to the fact that people hate to be wrong?
I think
Does
it's
it all,
a good
you know what I
portion
mean?
of it. I think that's a good portion of it. But it doesn't really. I think it's important to draw a distinction between the people who voted for Donald Trump and, you know, his supporters, his base, and the politicians that now follow along with Donald Trump, because I I think there's a certain number of people who did vote for Donald Trump because they just wanted something different. He wasn't considered an Republican, excuse me. Um, ostensibly, he brings a certain amount of business nous to the table that other politicians may not. I don't buy into that, but that is a theory. Um, and by simply not being part of traditional politics, he wouldn't be beholden to anybody. And I guess there's a certain amount of truth to that. But there is no question in my mind that there is a certain segment, and if you go back and read the quote accurately to what Hillary Clinton said, there is a distinct group of deplorables, people that
Hmm.
eat up the racism, they eat up the misogyny, they eat up the snowflake talk and the mockery of disabled people, and basically everything that's a negative aspect of reality television, right?
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it is. Like, you play to emotions and you accuse people of doing exactly what you're doing, and that appeals. Look, those shows are popular.
Hmm.
It's a big fucking deal that the Kardashians are going off the air,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
Real Housewives and all that shit is just, it's rotting, and people lap it up. So that it's that I don't think we're ever getting through to that, because that's just an ugly mindset. And while America is in the state it's in, they're going to feel reinforced in that mindset. They turn on the news, and to them they just see rioters and looters. There
Yeah.
is no underlying message. There's no reason. These are animals acting out in their mind. It's exactly what it is. So I don't know that there's a way to have a conversation with that person, and I don't know who's left. I don't
Right.
know. I don't
Right.
know where the
Exactly.
moderate thinking Republicans are. They've gone underground. And, you know, to flip it to the other side, we've had this discussion. You know, I don't get into a lot of conspiracy theories, but there has to be a certain explanation for why guys who have made careers out of having backbone. Lindsey Graham stood up and said a lot of things that I don't think a lot of conservative Republicans at the time would have liked to have heard.
Hmm.
And he stood firm ground. And if you notice now, who is the only person who still speaks out with any sort of regularity, and ask yourself why? It's Mitt Romney.
Yeah.
Now, my theory is that the Russians hacked both the Democrats and the Republicans. They're not stupid. And they didn't
Right.
get enough dirt on the Democrats, but they got enough of the right kind of dirt, because Hillary's supposed to be squeaky clean, right? So any other aspect about her that you can cast aspersion on, the whole emails and all that stuff, right? But they didn't just get that stuff. Trump's been in their pocket for years because they own him, that he's in debt to them. But I think they've
Hmm.
got an awful lot of shit on a whole lot of people. I think they've got
Sure.
dirt on a ton of these guys. How do you explain Ted Cruz being so absolutely vocally opposed to Donald Trump in every debate, and now cowers at his feet? or a Lindsey Graham.
Same thing with Lindsey Graham.
But
Yeah.
Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney is a squeaky clean. I mean, I don't know of the man being in scandal. He's mayonnaise, but he's
Yeah.
he's a good Mormon husband, and probably can't find any dirt on the dude. So you don't have
Yeah.
anything to hold over him. And what's he got to lose? He had his shot at the presidential nomination at the go, and
Yeah.
couldn't do it. And he's not really presidential, but he might be a decent senator for all I fucking know. But what I'm
Sure.
saying is, something has to explain this. And I don't like going down a conspiracy theory, but it doesn't that like after a while you just have information and now you're just following a lead, right? We
Yeah.
know the
Right.
Russians are involved.
Right. I
They're
mean, we
still
know all of
involved.
this.
Yeah.
We
So,
absolutely.
I think I strayed from your question, but
No.
I you're right. I mean, I'm not sure what conversations are left to be had at this point. If at this point you're still like, yeah, man, Trump's the fucking man, then you and I really just don't have anything to discuss, and I hope you're not a Man United fan because
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
don't want to be in a room.
Dude, you ruined it, man. Because I told my girlfriend, I said that we would not talk about soccer tonight. She goes, "It's inevitable. You guys always talk about soccer." And I'm like, "Okay, no
Dude,
soccer references. No soccer references tonight. Damn it. Damn it, man. Anyway, I know I was hedging my bets. I didn't want to say anything until it happened.
we
That's
hang
all.
out at a
I,
bar with some
I get,
scarves over, man.
dude, I understand. Damn it. I was hoping, we're not too far into this though. I mean,
But by the way, two things since we've already
I
done it.
know I saw yes, I
Very,
saw.
very cool that Christian Pulisic was awarded the number 10 jersey at Chelsea today. May he have as much success as I can stand him to have in it. And also, Tobin Heath is playing for
I saw.
Manchester
I saw.
United. Oh,
I
this
saw.
rules. Oh, man.
That's huge right there, man. That's
Yes.
huge.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
we might as well just break the seal. I mean, just
I,
it's done. Anyway.
I hate that any of the top American stars are leaving our league because I'd love us to establish it. But I mean, look, Manchester United and the Premier League
Man, you.
have money behind them. So
Yeah,
these big clubs are going
absolutely.
to look. We sent 2 to Man U and 2 to Man City today, I think. So
Wow.
yeah, so
Wow.
the
Okay.
the
Okay.
the, the women's Manchester Derby is about to
Oh
get
yes, I
lit.
did see that. I did see
So
that. Um,
so sorry,
let's do this. I have
sorry,
a
Sigo.
I have another segment we can talk about real quick, but let's do our halftime shot,
All
man.
right, man. About it.
So this week, let's throw this out to all the educators out there,
To the
everybody
educators.
who you know are out there busting your ass, trying to keep kids and yourself safe, in spite of decisions being made in conference rooms instead of classrooms. We love you. Thank you for everything you do.
Exactly. And
Slancha.
to all you parents out there that are homeschooling right now
Oh my
because
God.
of what's going on, this better be fucking eye-opening to you to what your kids are like 24/7 and what educators put up with.
Oh,
Um,
oh,
so
Aaron, and a specific shout out, Whitney Matthews, one of the best JAG coordinators
excellent.
ever. There you go, Whitney. Slancha. Ah, whoo. Got to take a minute, don't you? Mm.
Ooh, that was whiskey this time, and I don't normally. It's been a minute.
That JMO, I tell you, it hits and it makes the
Well,
day seem so much better.
that
It just does.
that was the old number 7 there. That was Mr. Daniels. No, my
Oh,
bad. That was Mr. Beam.
oh, okay. Hey, want to talk about this real quick because I'm excited about our Hey Aaron segment, so I want to leave
Awesome.
plenty of time for that.
Right
It's
on.
actually interactive for everybody, and as long as I
Sweet.
can share, which I think I can now,
You did last week, so we should be fine.
it's a video segment.
Oh.
So anyway, no, I I got I don't know, man. I got really sad today. I got sad today for just for our country as a whole. I I have a chance to teach African American history this semester, and I just love it. I love
Mm-hmm.
it, love it, love it because you can bring in so many different elements and see your students' eyes light up and say, "I didn't know. I had no idea about this." Um, but I kind of just sat in it today because a really good friend of mine and my girlfriend's told my girlfriend one day. She said, sometimes you just got to sit in your shit, and 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 I don't think America has done that. I really don't think we have. I don't think we've actually just sat and taken inventory of what we've done to people in this country, how we have relegated people to so many different um, lower and less than um, places than the dominant culture. I don't think we've done that. I think there have been people like you, the people who watch us, for the most part, that absolutely are woke and are like, you know what, look, the things that have happened sucked. And that's part of what makes this country, that's part of what made us suck.
Mm-hmm.
But we can not suck if we just fess up to it and if
Mm-hmm.
we can make some type of restitution about it. Um, in prepping these lessons, man, they're so heavy nowadays, especially because as I teach these lessons and as I'm sitting there watching, especially African American students go, I didn't know. Um, I've had friends of mine say, I feel robbed by our educational system. I feel robbed that there was an entire segment of our population whose history I have no idea about.
Mm-hmm.
Every February we get Martin Luther King, good, Malcolm X, bad. I mean, that's pretty much what we get.
Mm-hmm.
And throw a little bit of Med Grabbers in there, and
Yeah.
Harriet Tubman. Um, but it's just it made me sad today. But I did find some hope. Um, I started also taking inventory of people that have reached out, people who are doing that heavy lift of learning more about African American culture and who African Americans are. Um, you know, I I see these people do this, and I know that it is a long, hard, arduous road. And my fear um, has always been that it gets too hard. But I literally counted up, man, all of my friends that are just still lifting the hell out of this. And, kudos to every single one of you who are still asking questions, who are still in the friggin' fight, who are not taking shit from people.
Mm-hmm.
You get on this platform, you get on any social media platform, people become Hercules. Um, but to all those people, like you, Aaron, and all my other friends who are like, fuck no, I'm not taking this bullshit. Um, you know, that encouraged me today. That's what got me through all the BS today. And yeah, I mean, that's just all I have to share.
Good, and I'm glad you eventually were able to work around to that. I mean that I'm not a religious person per se, and I'm a big believer in humanity. I think people can suck, and people can also really overcome and do some great things. And this is their moment to remember that, and that they coexist. The weight of history has always been borne by a small number of people, and sometimes the people you don't think it would be. You
Mm-hmm.
learn in the just the anecdotal stories. Oh, some little old Jewish woman, helped, funnel tons of people on the Underground Railroad, shit like that. Right. And, sometimes the people you least expect are the ones that are really doing some heavy lifting for an awful lot of us. And they're unsung, and you don't always notice it, but they're there. And we keep marching on this way. Um, the fact is some people don't want to sit in the shit. Some people don't want to confront the ugliness. They like to wrap themselves in the comfort of the victor's narrative. We won, so we don't need to talk about the fact that we gave smallpox blankets to Native Americans, right?
Yeah.
We
Right.
didn't. We there's not that many of them. We don't need to talk about the fact that we reneged on every fucking deal we made with them over the
Yep.
course of a couple hundred years.
Absolutely.
Hey,
Japanese Americans weren't
black
in
people,
internment camps that long.
right?
It wasn't that long.
Black people are better off than they would have been in Africa. And now they can experience the American dream and pull themselves up by the bootstraps.
Yeah.
I mean, those are the things they tell themselves. And to come full circle, it culminates in things like a president saying, well, of course I wanted to downplay it. I didn't want to panic anybody. And that's what people want to hear. Some people, you and I, want to be told the facts.
Mm-hmm.
And here's a distinction now, because you hear a ton of people be like, oh, just tell me what I need to know and I'll make a decision for myself. I don't need the government to do anything about it. Well, except you're now backing the guy who made that decision on your behalf. So square that one with me. But
Yeah,
I'm the one who wants to know the truths. Give me a list of facts and say, this is what's going on. And then the next words out of your mouth ought to be, we just learned all that information from the smartest fucking people on the planet, and we're going to continue following their advice. Right?
Oh, we just learned that piece of information from the smartest fucking people on the planet just before we came out to tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
and now I'm telling you the exact opposite.
5 months ago. It's like, what? Wait, what the fuck? What?
So, some people don't want it. Some people don't want to know it because it would actually require them to do for themselves. The irony is not lost on me, but it is tragic in its amount, because you look at it and you're like, except you don't want to be told the truth. You want to pretend that this is nowhere near what the normal flu is and blah, 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 blah. When you just heard from your Führer's mouth that it's up to 5 times as deadly. It does impact more than just the elderly and the infirm. It is going to take hold in children, and we're seeing that now. The only reason it didn't take hold in the first place was because one of the smartest things we did early on was shut the fucking schools down.
Yeah.
That's what we did. And here's the thing, that this is the simplest explanation to all this, is if the dude just would have gone, yep, sounds about right, shut things down for a month and a half and we'll be back to normal, right? Look at what the rest of the world did. And yes, we're having flare-ups all over the place because it's hard to keep this shit under control and also keep people in one place. But if you do the hard work up front, as they say, every football coach in the South, do the hard work up front and you get all the awards after. Well, if you'd have done the fucking hard work up front, we'd have college football right now. We'd have the Big Ten. We'd have sports out of a bubble.
We'd be sitting here broadcasting this from the good old watering
We would be.
hole. I'm just saying, yeah.
It may not even need the show in the first place if we hadn't been cooped up for how long already,
Oh, yeah, that's true. Man. Wow.
So blessing in disguise, I love it. But at the same time, like, man, I'd have given back what? We're on episode 22, my friend. So we're damn near half a year into this, and it's not subsiding anytime soon either. That's what people need to recognize is, imagine what's about to happen. Flu season's about to start.
Yep. The school I work at, I've not seen the new numbers, but 2 weeks ago, we had 100 students, faculty, and staff who were asked to quarantine. We had 23 confirmed cases. That was 2 weeks ago. And it's just been added to since then. So I have personally on, my advising list, I have 3 students right now who have been tested and we're waiting to see back what the results of their tests are. And I'm supposed to go face to face with students tomorrow.
How many do you expect?
None, hopefully. Yeah. Hopefully they all took my advice and just, I'm like, look, You guys are not getting in my office. I'm sorry. It's not happening. It's not happening. And that's where I'm going to broadcast, that's where I'm going to do virtual, the remote class from. So I'm like, I probably won't see a student, which is great. I'm like, okay, that's fine. But my point is this, is that you you have said everything, Aaron, quite frankly, that people needed to hear. Um, in general, I want to say one more thing to my people. Okay, I'm just speaking to Black folk. Look, the fact of the matter is this: I understand that there are Black Democrats, Black Republicans, Black Independents, Black Green Partiers. I understand that. I understand it, but I got two things to say. Number one, vote. Vote your ass off. Number two, I understand if you have conservative values, totally get it. If you go to church, I totally get it. I understand. Fact of the matter is this, is that when President Obama got on TV and said that this is one of the most important elections of all time, I'm a historian, and I'm telling you that the man is right. He's right. It's one of the most important elections of all time, just simply because what we're seeing, we have not really seen in such a concentrated time of 4 years in our lifetime. In our lifetime. Now, you can go back and you can take a look at, several different people, Thomas Jefferson. You can take a look at, Calhoun and those guys. But we weren't alive then. We're seeing the same type of coercion leadership at play right now. And we have to recognize that this is not going to benefit the Black community. And if I, get hate mail for this, I don't care anymore because, quite frankly, Aaron's right. Time for conversation is over if you don't see that. But I'm just saying that the fact is that we have to continue to vote, especially in this time that we have now where people are still talking about race and about racism in America. We have to vote in order to keep that discussion going. This president wants to quash this discussion. He does not want this discussion to continue. He does not want protests to continue. He's masking what he wants to do to protest behind trying to shut down the violence in protests. I absolutely love what Joe Biden said, is that, you know what, these are not, the destruction that you see, this is not a result of a protest. Now, there are some things, okay, that we can argue back and forth, but you have to see that in response to who we are as African Americans, you have to see and look past the rhetoric. You have to see the impending doom that's coming if this guy gets 4 more years. And he may not sign anything into law, he may not do anything, but that's as detrimental to the Black community as if he were to actively go after the Black community. To do nothing now as the president, as the commander-in-chief during a time in history that is unprecedented, hurts the Black community. It just does. And so I'm going to get off my soapbox, but that's all I have to say.
The only thing I'm going to add to that is I know in Indiana, definitely in Indianapolis where I live, you can vote in person early at your local county building. Get on in.gov, but there will be much shorter lines, much less likelihood of having to stand in line for a long period of time, which means the whole COVID thing is a little less on your mind as well. Just pick some time, try to get out of work early or something like that. Hit your local county building. I'm sure the same is true in some form or another in every state, in every metropolitan area. So whatever your local information is, get on that. It's public information. They have to post it. If you are registered to vote, I'm pretty sure you don't have to do anything else. You just show up, walk in, they find your name like they would on election day, and you vote and you get it taken care of. So you don't have to, hey, I know in Atlanta they had 6-hour waits and shit like that. And that's what they want. So this is how we get to them.
Yep.
So
Yep.
vote early if you are able. Otherwise, hey man, get you the full Gordon's Fisherman's rain slicks and everything, a full mask, and
Yes.
look, take the day off. Say I'm voting, and your boss cannot harm you, harm your
Yep.
employment because of that. They can dock your pay, but I tell you what, I'll donate a few dollars to your fund if that's
Hey,
what it takes to get this fucking guy out of office. So vote,
what I
people,
was
vote.
what I was going to say is, Aaron, I think you and I, we need to take the day off and go vote. And the fact is that if anybody loses pay, I think we, carry disposable shot glasses and give them a shot while they're standing in line. There you go.
We
All right.
are actually considered talking about taking the day off and organizing driving people to the polls. Anybody
Yes. Yep.
needs to be picked up. So I'm sure there's organizations that are coordinating that, and us just trying to do it our own is probably difficult, but we are looking into that. So
Reach out. Reach
I'll
out.
I'll have to get another car because I only take one person at a time. But if that's what it takes to get people to the polls
Hey,
and get this
we'll,
done, that's what I
we'll
want
do it.
to do. I know my wife is looking into either polling for the day or canvassing prior to that. So
That's awesome.
just yeah, folks, this is I've been through a couple of these now where they say, "Oh, this is a really important election." I can tell you this, that I felt bad in 2000. I felt really kind of let down and betrayed in 2004. And shit sucked from 2004 to 2008, and history bears me out on that one. I'm not telling any tall tales to say that things got bad, but not so bad that we didn't recover. Some people struggled, and there are the casualties, and all I can do is send sympathy for that. But this one, I mean, we're seeing it in real time. This isn't you have to look back on this. This isn't hindsight's 2020 kind of thing.
Right.
We're seeing in real time the damage that is being done by a narcissistic sociopath being in office and people being sycophants to his leadership and kowtowing. It's crushing us. It's killing this experiment. And
Literally 190,
yeah.
190,000 people will be dead by the end of this weekend.
And I'm gonna say this about Joe Biden. He wasn't my first choice, but I'll say this, and I'm not a Catholic. I'm not a religious person, but I think he embodies. He gave one of the greatest answers I've ever heard in my entire life to a question, and this is what I believe politicians and politics are supposed to strive to. And that is, he was asked about, I'm paraphrasing, he was asked about, abortion during the vice presidential debate. And he said, look, I'm a Catholic. I'm a lifelong Catholic. And if someone came to me, I would counsel them in every way to not do it. But I don't believe it is my right, and I don't believe it is the right of any politician to make such a choice. I don't believe it is our right to pass such a law on behalf of somebody else. And that, to me, is an understanding of good politics in a nutshell. So is the man flawed? Yeah. Do I want another old white dude? No, I don't. So, but this is what the system has given us. And this is literally, look, this is not the lesser of two evils. Okay.
No.
The choice
No.
right now is between a flaming turd sandwich covered in gonorrhea.
Yes.
And a bologna with cheese and mayonnaise sandwich.
Yep.
It's a bland sandwich, but
right.
You're taking the fucking bologna, cheese, and mayonnaise over the flaming pile of sex disease.
With a side of syphilis. That's what I was going to say. But that's okay.
I mean,
it's all the same.
This is the most starkly obvious election in my entire life, except for the last one. And there's the funny thing: if no sane person could honestly say, you know what, we're better off because of him than of her.
Yeah.
And she wasn't my first choice either. But at the end of the day, who's running for the job? Who wants the job? I don't want the job. I really do. I mean, I think I could certainly do better than this fucking goofball, but I don't want the job. as they say, any person who wants it shouldn't have it.
Shouldn't have it.
Right?
The West Wing, man. That's where I heard that. That's good.
But
All right, let's have some fun.
all right, let's do it.
Because now, ladies and gentlemen, is the time that we are going to our Hey Aaron segment, and I have done my best in trying to make this.
You keep talking. You keep talking.
Oh yeah. Make it as interactive as possible. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show a video, and everybody, if you want to participate, please participate, because we're going to try and throw Aaron here, and we're going to see if you guys can score higher than he does.
I can't just start Hey Aaron with no beer.
There you go. You got to have beer. But you're going to need something to write with and something to write on, because there are 20 movie quotes that you are going to hear.
Okay.
And you will have to write down the movie that they are from.
I love a good quiz. You know what? I got straight up want to say one of the things I miss most out of all this is Monday night trivia night.
Yes. And this is why I did it. This is why I did this, man. Because I'm like, you know what? I miss it. I miss Justin. Justin, shout out to you, brother. You know, and so I said, you know what? Let's bring trivia to the Evan and Aaron show. So here we go. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to start it. Now, here's the way it goes. I'm going to hit play. It's going to play 20 clips. And at the end, I'm going to pause it. And when I pause it, you say your answer, because I'm not sure you'll be able to hear me. But you say your answer, and then I'll show what the answer really is. Okay. So this is
so it's going through all of them first.
Yes, going through all of them first.
And then we'll circle back around.
That's it.
All right.
All right, here we go. Real quick, can you hear? Did you hear that?
I can
hear. Okay, here we go.
All right.
Ain't he something now? He's smart, Mr. Jangles.
Mr. Jangles?
That his name. He whispered in my ear.
If you let my daughter go now, that'll be the end of it. I will not look for you. I will not pursue you. But if you don't, I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you.
You gotta know, I'm not just some guy. Brennan, that is the voice of an angel. Brennan, I can't even make eye contact with you right now. Your voice is like a combination of Fergie and Jesus. Why can't you do that in front of people?
A census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. You fly back to school now, little Starling. Fly, fly, fly.
Excuse me. Huh? Can you tell me how to get to Beverly Hills?
You're here. That's Sylvester Stallone's house right there.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's all there, black and white, clear as crystal. You stole fizzy lifting drinks. You bumped into the ceiling, which now has to be washed and sterilized, so you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Pilots.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
So, sucking down Darjeeling with Marie Antoinette and her little sister.
I think you've had enough tea for today. Let's get you out of here, Buzz.
Don't you get it? You see the hat? I am Mrs. Nesbit.
Now, Sid, don't you blame the movies. Movies don't create psychos. Movies make psychos more creative.
The only sensible way to live in this world is without rules. And tonight you're gonna break your one rule. I'm considering it. No, there's only minutes left. You're gonna have to play my little game if you want to save one of them. Yeah. You know, for a while there, I thought you really were down.
Hope is a dangerous thing. Hope can drive a man insane. It's got no use on the inside. You better get used to that idea.
Like Brooks did.
Oh, blow Andy Dufresne.
Thousands of people die every day. But you put one dead body in the middle of a busy street and it makes people crazy. Look at these guys.
What is this?
A center for ants!
What? How can we be expected to teach children to learn how to read if they can't even fit inside the building?
Here's Johnny.
It takes a great deal of bravery to stand up to your enemies, but a great deal more to stand up to your friends. I award 10 points to Neville Longbottom.
Run! Go! Get to the chopper!
What do you mean I'm funny? It's funny, you know. It's a good story. It's funny. You're a funny guy. What do you mean? You mean the way I talk? What? It's just, you know, you're just funny. It's funny, you know, the way you tell the story and everything.
Funny how? I mean, what's funny about it?
As a duly designated representative of the city, I order you to cease any and all supernatural activity and return forthwith to your place of origin or to the nearest convenient parallel dimension.
Congratulations. You are still alive. Most people are so ungrateful to be alive. But not you. Not anymore.
Oh, my little ankle biters. Do I sense dissension in the ranks? Are we ready for homework, or shall we continue manual labor?
Okay. Are you ready, man?
Hold on.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so everyone else who are playing at home, make sure you have your answers ready. I am going to go off of what Aaron's answer is to begin playing and showing what the true answer is. So here we go. Time for the answers.
Come on, Mr. Jingles.
Okay, so answer number one, what do you have?
I have no idea.
Oh, wow. Mr.
Man, I couldn't
Jangle.
get there.
Okay, all right.
Mr. Jangles.
That his name? He whispered in my ear.
Green Mile, my friend.
I've never seen it.
Oh.
I know.
Woo, okay, that's a good one. Add that to your list, all right? Here we go. Number two.
You don't.
Come on.
Taken.
I'll look for you.
I've never seen it either.
I will find you.
Whoa. Oh.
And I will kill you.
Okay, so yeah, we're gonna have to work on that.
Brendan, I can't even make eye contact with you right now.
Okay.
I recognize the voices. I don't know the movie.
I
probably know the movie, but I just...
You do.
Yeah. Your voice is like a combination of Fergie and Jesus.
Step Brothers, man.
I recognize John C. Reilly talking, but I just
that's all right. That's all right.
Also never seen it.
Oh man.
I know.
Oh no. Come on. Don't do this.
There you go. Should be good now. No, you're good. You're good. It just needed it needed to advance.
I don't know, man.
Give it a go.
His liver with some fava beans.
You know that one.
Yeah, Silence of the Lambs.
Nice
Absolutely.
Chianti.
Absolutely. All right, I'm just gonna let it go.
Yep.
Number 5.
Huh? Can you tell me how to get to Beverly Hills?
You're here. That's Sylvester
Pretty
Stallone's
Woman,
house
my
right
friend.
there.
Pretty Woman. Did you get that one?
I did not actually.
Stole fizzy lifting.
Oh, you know this one.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Heck yeah.
You
Actually,
bumped into the ceiling, which
Willy
now has to be
Wonka.
washed and
Yeah.
sterilized.
Chocolate
So
Factory.
you
I'll give it to you.
Whatever.
Give it to you.
Fly this plane and land it.
This one?
Airplane.
Surely you can't be serious.
I
I
am
am
serious.
serious.
And
Call
don't
me
call me
Shirley.
Shirley.
Hey, let's get you out of here, bud.
Number 8.
Toy Story.
Yes. Very good.
You see the hat? I am Mrs. Nesbit.
Next one. What'd you get?
Sid, don't you blame the movies.
Don't know.
Movies don't create psychos.
F.
Movies
Campbell.
make psychos more creative.
That's not really a quote-worthy movie.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. I enjoy Scream. It
Yeah.
parodies horror movies very well, but
Yeah, okay, I'll give that to you.
No, there's only minutes left, so you're gonna have
All right, number 10.
Dark Knight.
Yes.
to play my
Good
little
call.
game if you want to save one of them.
Hope is a dangerous.
Number 11.
I'd like to tell you Andy fought the good fight.
Yes.
Shawshank.
Shawshank.
Hope can drive a man insane.
Yes. Number
Thousands
12.
of people die every day.
This was tough for me. I actually did this quiz, and I was like, I did see this movie, but I totally forgot it. Any idea?
I recognize the voice, and I sort of get the quote. Let it run before it. Let it reveal to me. Let me see if I can get there before it does.
But you put one dead body in the middle of a busy street and it makes people crazy.
Oh,
Look at
okay.
Remember that one?
Yeah.
Remember that
What's funny? Remember there were like 2 or 3 movies that had basically the same premise that all came out at the same time, and they were all based on a like obscure Belgian movie or some shit like that.
Right. Yep. Josh, you got it right. Phone booth. That was pretty good. It wasn't bad. I like Colin Firth in that, man. All right, here we go.
How can we be expected to teach children to learn how to read if they can't even fit inside
In the Zoolander school for kids who can't read good.
I kind of whiffed on that one. My bad. But you knew that one. I'm sure you knew that one. All right, here we go. Next one.
The Shining.
Yeah.
The Shinning.
Absolutely. The Shinning. The Shinning. Oh.
I award 10 points to Neville Longbottom.
I put Harry Potter. It was the first one, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, so
yes.
I'm going to stick with
Philosopher's
Harry Potter.
Stone. Good job. I'll give it to you. Okay.
Get to the chopper.
Run! Go! Get to the chopper!
The most awesome Arnold quote ever, man. Next to you son of a beach.
But the best line in that movie is the Native American dude. I ain't got time to bleed.
Yeah.
Or no, that's Jesse Ventura, and he's like, I ain't got time.
Yes.
To bleed.
I ain't got time to bleed. Jesse Ventura.
There's something out there, but it ain't no man.
It's funny, you know.
Okay. This one?
Goodfellas. You know what's funny is this story is true.
It's a great story.
Like,
yeah,
it happened to Pesci, I guess.
What?
Yeah. So.
By the way, I only saw this movie last year.
Yeah, apparently, I want to say Pesci had this experience with a mobster one time, and the guy was just fucking with him, but it scared the living shit out of him. So he's like, "We're putting that in the movie." One of them, maybe it was Pileggi who wrote it, or Pileggi. I don't know.
That's incredible.
But
yes,
it happened to fucking one of them. Obscure side note: did you know that Joe Pesci has like a best-selling album?
What?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
It's jazz, maybe?
I want to say it's like traditional covers, but I think, let's see, Joe Pesci.
What?
Hold on.
That's crazy.
Hold on.
That's crazy.
I know I'm taking up time, but I gotta do this now that I've committed.
Do it. I'll.
If I remember correctly, it'll kind of blow your mind. So let's see, somewhere musical career, yeah. So yeah, so basically, in
Joe Pesci.
Yeah, in the early 90s, he was like a massive star. He'd done all these movies, and then he basically stopped acting for about a decade. So, so he released his first album like 30 years prior, but in 1998 he released his second album and his first in 30 years. Vincent LaGuardia Gambini Sings Just for You, which was named after his character from the 1992 film My Cousin Vinny. The album was both humorous and serious, exposing a variety of genres, though most of it was big band jazz.
Okay, go ahead. I did not know that. That's incredible. All right. A few more. Here we go.
All supernatural activity and return forth.
Yes.
I don't think that's going to do it, Ray. It's Ghostbusters.
To your place of origin or to the nearest convenient parallel dimension.
Congratulations.
Oh.
Is it Ultron? Is it Avengers Ultron?
No.
No, what? Oh.
Horror. Think horror film.
I don't watch horror films.
You are still alive.
Saw.
Most people are so ungrateful.
See, just none of those movies appealed to me whatsoever.
Biters, do I sense this?
What's this one? Last
My
one.
first day as a woman, and I'm already getting hot flashes.
Tension in the ranks. Are we ready for homework or shall we continue
Yay.
Classic.
Excellent job, my friend.
No disrespect, because obviously Robin Williams is, rest in peace, but one of the just best comedic personalities and fit that role to a T. But what a movie to remake. I mean, Hollywood's always remaking stuff. That movie would be so easy to remake nowadays. And not easy from the standpoint of, obviously, Robin Williams just inhabited that character, but think of all the people that were in it that kind of made that fun. Pierce Brosnan was in it.
Yeah, Sally Field.
Sally Field's in it. I can't remember who the producer.
His brother that made him. Oh, what's the actor's name? Oh, such a great cast.
So
man,
it's just well done, and I think it's a movie ripe to be remade. I mean, if we're gonna remake all this other shit, might as well have some fun with it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That's it. No, go ahead.
The new trailer for Dune has come out.
Saw you posted that, dude. I saw you posted.
I didn't read the book, but I know the source material was kind of, everybody wanted to make a movie out of it, and then obviously, it's both lauded and derided in equal bits. But I thought the early or mid '80s Dune with Kyle MacLachlan and that was a really good movie. But
I loved it.
I tell you, if you watch the trailer, and it seems like they're sticking pretty closely, obviously, to the source material and everything, but man, they got a shit ton of people to be in it, and it's 30 years later, so just the computer graphics the first time you see the worm, jeez,
wow,
super cool.
Well, I gotta tell you, man, ladies and gentlemen, hey, I gotta head out because I have a date to watch Homeland on Showtime, which is, if you have not watched that, Claire Danes, just
how far along are you?
Damian Lewis, those guys, we're season 4 already, man. We're just blazing through it, so we're going through it. So we're gonna go. I'm gonna watch one more.
Season 4. Where is she? Where is she now? I'm trying to remember.
She's back in Afghanistan, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, she's back in Afghanistan. So, Aaron, take us out, brother.
Everybody, once again, glad if you could join us, or whenever you end up watching this. I know plenty of people watch it after the fact or catch it on YouTube. We got a really obscure comment on our YouTube video last week, so shout out to everybody who does that. By the way, if you are watching on YouTube, hit the like, hit the subscribe, do all those things. Email us, give us your feedback, make fun of us. I don't care. Again, the reason why we did this is because Evan and I like hanging out together, and we're just good foils for one another. We're friends, and we talk about what's going on. And here was an opportunity. We didn't have an agenda. We didn't have a whole lot to talk about. But the shit writes itself. We're living through it right now. And Evan is one of many educators and other professions out there that are, kind of being asked to be guinea pigs on our behalf. And I'm lucky to have a job, and so is my wife, that, don't put us in that same way. And it's not something I have to think about. And here's Evan, as a real world example for me, reminding me of, just another thing going on in the world that's worth being aware of and knowing what people are going through. And we've got to figure out how to come through this together. And when you hear us say, we're not going to talk, we're past talking to people, that's a bit of a metaphor because I'll always sit down and try to talk and find middle ground with somebody, and hopefully you believe that. Hopefully you get that from us, that I'm not, I do feel like some people are a little far gone, but if they want to if they want to sit down and listen and chat over a beer, talk about where we can find common ground, because even though you're a Trump supporter, at the end of the day, we're all Americans. We're all breathing the same air, and got to get through all this shit. So there has to be a small Venn diagram in there somewhere. So basically saying, hug your loved ones, say hi to your neighbor, raise a glass when you can, do what makes you happy right now, and do whatever you need to do to get through. And tell you what, we'll be here next Wednesday, and for as long as this continues on, and probably even for a little while after that.
Probably.
And hopefully doing it in person at a bar near you. So, hey, support your local restaurants. Get out and do what you think is safe for you. Plant a garden. Get that shit ready for the fall.
Yep.
I don't know. Covering a lot of ground here.
I'm just going to say cheers to you, my friend.
Cheers to you, my friend. Love you. Tomorrow will be a better day, and love you all out there. Thank you all for tuning in. Take care. Bye.
Peace.